the question is, what do people understand when we talk about AV? What I've seen in the past, when technology comes over, there is a massive lack in the public awareness. They massively misunderstand technology. Yeah. And I think due to a lot of commercials from the OEMs, people massively misunderstand autonomous vehicle today.
But, I mean, in the public's defense, quite frankly, they shouldn't have to really get it. So what I mean is, didn't Steve Jobs say this over and over again? That nobody really cares about megahertz and gigabytes and whatever, just does the thing work? Does it do what I need? Right. You know, there's this really fantastic organization I met with in DC over the summer. They're called PAVE, the Pathway to Autonomous Vehicle Education. And their whole mission is precisely that. It's to kind of educate the public and teach them what's what about a car. And I talked with somebody not too long ago who only just recently discovered that their Mercedes GLC has active lane keep assist, which for all intents and purposes is basically a really elementary Tesla autopilot system. It works pretty well. I mean, people, they didn't even know that their car did that. And when it accidentally did it, they were like totally shocked, like, oh my God, my car is driving itself, you know? And the point that I'm making is I'm not even sure necessarily that the public needs to, nobody really cares how a thing works, simply that it does.
I totally agree with you. What I was trying to say is, the problem is with the expectation. What do you expect the technology to do?
Work.
So when work, what does that mean? So when you show that your dog is on the steering wheel and you're sleeping, and you expect that you can get away with watching Harry Potter in the car, that's deadly.
True.
So I think the awareness should be gradual, and we have to be very careful, because there is a difference between an iPod and a vehicle. You know, if you misunderstand, expect something too much from your iPod, your life is not in danger.
True.
So
if you listen to the wrong music, it can be
you can listen to the wrong music.
That's possible.
That's possible.
No, look, I get your point, and I agree, obviously. But so there's a weird paradox. Actually, I just learned this term the other day. You may have heard about this. It's called, the paradox of safety. And as soon as, if you've not heard the term, I think the concept is immediately clear. The more safe a thing becomes, the more risk people are willing to take, right?
True.
To me, that best, I guess, describes the biggest problem with autonomous cars. So having driven a Tesla on autopilot many times, so for example, late at night, a 1 hour drive, say from Silicon Valley up to San Francisco, there's no cars on the road, you've got autopilot switched on, la-di-da, you don't have to do anything. It actually really does work that well, for the most part, until it doesn't. But you know, what you become really painfully aware of is the fact that, gosh, you could very easily fall asleep. And that's pretty scary, because, and that is the paradox, right?
Right.
Because you realize you could easily fall asleep. Ironically, you're probably less likely to die if you did fall asleep, but you are more likely to fall asleep than in a regular car. That, to me, is the big challenge to overcome.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned is really the steps. The next step is really geo-fenced lanes for AV, and then we'll have to take it, because we'll also be gathering a lot of massive amount of data.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, and the industry will be learning, and this is how it should progress.